And today I'm coming on live to talk about the most recent episodes that are on Starting a Business Simplified podcast. So, in this live, I'm going to share my own personal understanding of the episode and the takeaways that are so amazing about these two episodes. I'm doing two because I had a bonus episode last week with Kim Benoy. She has Midlife with Courage podcast, and she came on and shared her story. She's a retired registered nurse, and she shared her story of how she started her podcast. And we get into the topic around identity. And then the other thing I want to highlight is the episode that went live today. So today we have a new episode on Starting a Business Simplified, and it is the episode of step 2, where I share identifying your ideal clients and how to work with your ideal, like who is your ideal client. So I just wanted to come on here and tell you that I want to give you an insight as a podcast host. One of the things that I do specifically is I listen to other podcasts. So I always listen to other podcasts to gain my own understanding and knowledge on topics. And it always brings inspiration to me. And I love hearing how other podcasters are doing things. And then the other thing that I do is I listen to my own podcast. And for some people, I've talked to people and they're like, I don't want to hear myself. I don't want to see myself. Ew. And they nitpick and they go after all the little things that might go wrong. What I want to tell you though is it is so incredibly insightful. I want to encourage you, if you don't like to see yourself on video or hear yourself talk, start liking it, like start embracing it. This is something that Olympians, athletes, actors, like anybody who's in a public speaking space, they practice these things and they watch them back over and over again to see what's working, what's not working, what should I keep doing, what should I stop doing. It's a great way to understand what it is that your audience is seeing. And I want to highlight, if you don't like to hear yourself talk, who is going to like to hear you talk? Really, we have to go internal first. I needed to be able to look myself in the mirror and say, I love to hear me talk, not in a I'm proud and, boastful way or an arrogant way, but in a way that says, I believe in what I have to say. I believe that what I have to say is going to help somebody else. It's going to inspire somebody. It's going to get them to go, think about things maybe a little different. And I have to like hearing myself, seeing myself so that I can present myself in a way that is empowering, that actually inspires people. And then have guests on that I feel confident in having them on, having conversations, asking difficult questions, getting them to open up. If I'm uncomfortable, they're going to be uncomfortable. So the episode with Kim is really a great episode because both of us are podcasters. So you're going to hear two podcast hosts. They've been doing this for years, both of us, talking to each other and really opening up about identity, stepping into a new identity. She's going to talk about how she got started and what some of the challenges were for her as a business owner getting started and how she's overcome them. I'm going to share stories about me and my identity and how I've overcome challenges. So I encourage you to listen to the episode. I will put in the notes below this video the link to go out and listen to the episode with Kim Benoy. She has Midlife with Courage. I was on her podcast also as a guest. I think it was a couple of months ago. So you can go back and listen to that episode as well if you want to get both sides, like hear my story and then hear her story, which I think is really inspirational. Again, I'm going to encourage you, step out of your comfort zone, watch back and listen to yourself. For those of you that are doing podcasting or videos or sharing content, read what you write. Even for those of you that are just doing written content, and really look at it from the audience perspective. Give yourself compliments. When you see something or hear something that you did or read something that you did and go, wow, that was amazing. That was great. Tell yourself that. So incredibly powerful. You're here to inspire. You're here to encourage people in this world. For those of you that are creating content, that is exactly what you're doing in whatever capacity that is, for whatever reason that is. And by getting confident in what you do, it's watching yourself, seeing yourself, and going, huh, how could I do that differently? How could I improve? Or I love that about myself. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at XYZ. And really owning that and feeling good about it. So the next episode that it went live today, this is step 2 in the 5 essential steps to starting a business to replace your salary. So I'm doing all the steps on the podcast and we're in step 2, and step 2 is talking about your ideal client, not serving everybody. Who is it that you actually serve? And I break down simplified, because that's what we do, simplifying out how you can identify who it is you're meant to serve and who it is that you're talking to. So you're not talking to everybody, because if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. You're talking specifically to your people. So right now, I talk specifically to medical professionals that want to leave, replace their salary, and start their own business. That's who I'm talking to. Not that other people can't listen. Anybody can listen. I love for people to listen, but I want to be specific in my messaging to get it across so that those people hear me. So it's not noisy and it's not in the mass produced tons of content out there where it's so vague that nobody understands. They don't hear and they don't go, oh, that's me. So you want to make sure you're clear. So the episode today is talking about that step and talking about how to do that in a way that is beneficial. So thank you for watching. For those of you that are watching, thank you for watching the replay. For those of you watching the replay. And if you're curious and want to know more, listen to the podcast, Starting a Business Simplified. It is every Tuesday we do an episode, and then I have bonus episodes that come out throughout the month, depending on who my guest speakers are. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.